of parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay. And you're going to talk about the relationship between the slopes and parallel and perpendicular lines. So here I have two parallel lines, and let's look at the slope of those. So I'm going to start with the slope of line M. I'm just going to use that little superscript to tell us that. If you recall, I can put a dot here, I can put a dot here. It's rise over run, so 2, 1, or negative 2, 1. So my slope here is negative 2. My second line, if I look at the slope, is going to give me the exact same thing of negative 2 or negative 2 over 1. So hopefully you notice that the slopes are the same. Here, I've got two perpendicular lines, so let's look at the slope of that. Let's start with the slope of S. If I take 2 points here and here, my slope is going to be positive 1/2. If I take, it's going to be positive 2 because it's rise over run. And if I take 2 points on this line, line R, you'll see that it is negative 1/2. Okay. And it's a little harder so maybe to see that relationship, but you should see that they are reciprocals and opposites. So slopes of parallel lines are going to have the same slope, and perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. And when I say that, I mean they have things like 1/2 and negative 2, 5/3 and negative 3/5. Those would be perpendicular. So let's use the slopes to determine whether opposite sides of this quadrilateral are parallel. So if I just kind of sketched A, B, C, D, and I want to find the slope between the different points to see if they are parallel, AB, the slope of that is going to be 4 minus 1 over 5 minus 1, which is going to give us 3/4. The side opposite AB is going to be CD, so let's do that one next. Okay, so CD is going to be 5 minus 1 over negative 1 minus 7, which is going to give us 4 over negative 8, which is going to give us negative 1/2. Okay, so here we can see that our slopes are not parallel. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Now, A, B, C, D, be careful when you name a quadrilateral, you name it going around without a skip. Okay, are these lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into slope-intercept form. The first one in slope-intercept form, if I add 7x, would be 7x plus 6. And then the second one, if I subtract 7x, I get negative 7x plus 8. Okay, well, they're opposites. They're not reciprocals. So these are neither. Okay. Let's look at this example. If I take the 2x plus 5y equal to negative 1, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And if I divide everything by 5, this equation is going to be y equals negative 2/5 x minus 1/5. Okay, and then if I take this other one and divide everything by 10, I'm going to get y equals negative 2/5 x minus 2. They both have the same slope of negative 2/5, so they are parallel. Okay. We're going to go back to writing equations. All right, so if I'm going to make an equation of a line perpendicular, my slope of this line is 1/2. My slope of my perpendicular would be negative 2. So I've got a point and a slope. I'm going to use the point slope form. and I'm going to put in the 0.40, so y minus 0 equals -2 times x minus 4. And the y minus 0 actually goes away, and there's my equation of my line. One more example, write an equation of the line parallel to the given line that contains C. So if it's parallel, my slope of this one is -3/2, so my slope of my parallel is also going to be -3/2. Okay. So I'm going to sub that again into point slope form. And I'm going to get y plus 2 equals -3/2 x minus 6. Now, if it was asked to put in slope-intercept form, you would have to go on. If it's not asked for slope-intercept, I would just stay here, but let's go on just because you want to. Okay, if I distribute my -3/2, I'm going to get -3/2 x, and then plus 2 goes into 6 3 times, so plus 9. And then I'm going to subtract 2, so y equals -3/2 x plus 7. Okay, but again, if they're not asking for a specific form, then that's fine. If they're asking for slope-intercept, that's your answer. So just to recap, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. Have a math-tastic day.
Yay.